Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for Tales of Eldura tonight. So Jonathan and I are the writers behind D&D Duet, and we are doing a duet version or one-on-one remix of Descent into Avernus. And so right now, it's taking place in our homebrew world of Eldura. And right now we are in the city of Lee's Main, and our lovely player will clue us in as his PC, Garreth, in just a minute. But before then, we wanted to make sure to pause and say thank you to our amazing patrons for sponsoring this stream. We appreciate you guys so much. We definitely wouldn't be streaming if it hadn't been for you guys encouraging us to, and your support and encouragement every week means the world to us. So thank you.
Also, our stream is sponsored by Beth's new book, Buried Heroes. Buried Heroes tells the tale of a world of high fantasy, magic, and nature that teeters on the brink between light and darkness. Ancient forces awaken, and new heroes rise to the occasion. But this time, can they prevail? Find out in this exciting first-in-series novel packed with druids, pirates, werewolves, and more. You can purchase Buried Heroes wherever books are sold or directly from Beth at bethballbooks.com.
Hey, thank you.
Should I just get into my Garreth thing?
I think so. Do we have any other announcements or anything?
I don't think so. It's getting towards the end of the month, and so our patrons are going to be getting a brand new one-on-one adventure continuing our vampire saga. It's pretty intense. Look out for that soon.
I'm really distracted by Carolina behind you.
What is she? Oh.
If you want to just block her for viewers, you're being kind of gross. Just block her there.
This is a nice family show.
Nothing's happening.
And I like that the mic.
Sorry, everybody.
All of the slurping.
Shh, let's not talk about that. Honey.
Let's go to a world of fantasy. Do you want me to be Garreth?
Yes, Garreth. Take us to a world of fantasy. Please.
I'm Garreth Stosdak, a half-orc forge cleric from the walled city of Respite, wherein I plied my trade for many years before fate had other plans for me. I recently discovered that the entire city that my son had been protecting and serving in the military suddenly disappeared, and refugees from this city, Beacon, fled to Respite, and there's been no word yet of my son, though I have learned that Beacon has been pulled into the negative planes, and I am currently aiming to find my way into Beacon to save my son. Towards that end, my party and I have traveled to Lee's Main in order to secure rapid magical transport to the Witchwood, where we can get the information we need. In Lee's Main, I encountered several more refugees from Beacon. These, though, had fallen ill to some infernal infection. I resolved that those refugees should not suffer and should instead be healed. And so I am currently investigating a warlord by the name of Lucien, in the company of my companion Tessina, a witch from the Witchwood, and Evelyn, a fey interplanar operative fire druid individual. We just had a meeting with one of Lucien's lieutenants that was tense, and Arthur, who is not Drex,
and is not associated with the Golden Lion. We know that now. And I think that we were just about to leave Drex's. Arthur's.
Yes, so Garreth, you right now we can pick up with us in Arthur's office, and then let's see, let me get us to that page. And so right now too, we just have the kind of normal little picture. Lucien's isn't, physically his kind of outpost in Lee's Main is like a city on a hill, but not in the kind of positive
puritanical way.
Yeah, exactly. So you're in Arthur's office. What would you like to do?
I think we'd wrapped up our conversation with him unless Arthur has anything else that he wants to tell us. And so...
No, we had wrapped that up at the end of our last session.
I think Garreth is going to pick himself up and gather his people and say, "Until next time, Arthur, thank you for this preliminary meeting."
Yes, thank you. I will see about your appointment with Drex tomorrow. Mr. Arthur, come on, Princess Loverchops. Tessina's holding Princess Loverchops really close because she's worried about him getting taken by Arthur.
Yeah, can I roll an insight check and see what Arthur's fascination is with this Tressum? Oh my goodness, first roll of the night.
First roll, super specific insight check.
Okay, here we go. I rolled a 12, a gentleman's 12.
Okay, with the gentleman's 12, you pick up, by the flame of the forge, that Arthur is probably interested in Princess Slobberchops because he is a Tressum and a pink backpack.
Who wouldn't want some of that?
Who would? Yeah, it would be, if he weren't, with your 12, you think if he weren't obsessed with Princess Slobberchops, then he could not be trusted. But it makes him seem like a more honest person that he's openly showing his interest.
It's the decent thing to do. So I'm going to, I'll open the door and walk out, and I think I'll look around. Are we in a hallway, or are we in like a...
You're in a hallway.
I'm going to say, Tessina, what do you think Lorelei is doing?
I don't know. Do you think she's still walking around?
I feel like she probably owes us a song or something.
That sounds cool. Let's go find her. You hear a groan from behind you and stomping.
Garreth and Tessina will ignore Evelyn's reluctance, and we're going to use this as a pretext to kind of explore Lucien's domain a little bit, on the lookout for Evelyn. It happened.
Audio.
Hey, your audio's back.
And like the whole thing shut down. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I got like a little frowny thing on the page and everything.
It did that earlier when... Yeah, but we're still up.
Okay, sorry, give me just a second because it changed the size of my pop-out window and now it's not fitting where I need it to. That was weird. Oh, because it closed the other one. Okay. Yay!
Yay.
Sorry about that, everyone. I didn't know what happened. Okay, we're back.
We're going to go walking through the halls and explore and look out for a siren.
Okay, why don't you roll a... First, I want you to roll a perception check to try to find Lorelei the siren. And I also would like you to describe for me how you are going about walking around the halls. So, like, what kind of general vibe are you giving off? So, perception check first.
I rolled an 11 for my perception check.
Okay.
A gentleman's 11.
Mm-hmm.
And the vibe, I think that we're trying to not look, we're going to doing the, like, not wanting to look touristy kind of thing, and looking like we belong and kind of walking with a purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. I also want you to make a stealth check just to see how well you blend in, but this isn't like a sneaky stealth check, so you don't need to roll disadvantage.
Okay. 7. A gentleman's 7.
Okay. Let's see how you guys do. Okay, so as you are walking along, you guys go out of the hallway that you had gone down to get to Arthur's office, and you're back in the lobby where it kind of splits double across the main floors. Do you know where you would like to look for Lorelei, or are you just going to kind of wander around back down and in the direction that she went and hope you find her?
If I know the direction that she went, it would make sense for me to go that direction. So I'll tell you, I'll go that direction.
Okay, cool. So you guys get a little bit turned around as you are walking.
This place is big.
I haven't seen into most of these rooms. Justina is like peeking in everywhere that you go past. She's made a few new friends. That seems to be kind of unusual, even though this is a friendly-ish place. So as you're walking, you do see... you do see a fey woman of some kind, and this is more of the... you think that she's a dryad, but you're not exactly positive what sort of dryad she might be, and you just kind of catch a glimpse of her as you're going down one of the halls. But as you look, you do hear kind of a tinkling in the background, a lovely, lilting siren voice that sounds familiar, kind of like the laugh that you heard before.
I would kind of nudge to Sina and indicate where that's coming from. And as I'm going through, have I noticed, or since I've been in Idle Passage, have I noticed anybody that seems sick or like that it's a refugee from Beacon at all?
You have not noticed anyone that seems sick, and you haven't noticed at least any of the really obvious Beacon refugees.
Cool.
That's not to say that there aren't any, but if they are here, then they don't appear in the same way that as the other ones you've seen.
Cool. So we will make our way towards the lilting siren voice of Lorelei.
Okay, so you have gone back down to the main level, and you've kind of wound your way through a couple different side hallways and passages, and so just outside of a conservatory, like the garden kind, you see Lorelei the siren talking to a kind of large, burly person who you think is probably a guard.
Cool. Can I hear what they're talking about?
Roll a perception check.
Perception check is going to be a nat 20 when it matters.
Ooh, thank goodness. So they are discussing, as best you can tell. Lorelei is saying, "Unfortunately, no, I'll need you to tell him that I will be unavailable that evening. My schedule is just too full, but try again for, next week or something. That should be sufficient."
How does the big dude take it?
He just kind of nods and says, "Yes, as you wish."
Is he leaving?
Are you guys standing at the end of the hall?
Can we see if we can have not stood obviously in the end of the hall and like see if he like
Roll one more stealth check
we'll
for
do
me.
the walk by and then
And like the lean back.
yeah.
Okay, roll one more stealth check. We'll see how that goes.
Is this one with disadvantage since it involves movement?
No, it's okay.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
-1.
-1. Okay. Yeah, so the guard kind of nods to Lorelei, and you see him marching off into the conservatory that looks like the butterfly room in Animal Crossing. It's very pretty.
Love that.
Tizzy goes, ooh, and calls her off. Good, I'm really sorry. And then she kind of pushes you in the back to get you down the hall.
So I will walk down the hall with an air of self-possession and fanciness. And I will approach the siren and I will give her a deep bow.
Oh. Hello. Do I know you?
I'm Garreth Stosdak from Respite.
Oh. That's nice. Who is your friend? My name is Tessina, and this is Princess Slobberchops, and this kind of cranky person is our friend Evelyn. Wonderful. So, honey, I'm going to need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Done. I got this. I rolled a 6, which probably beats it, right?
Almost.
Do you want me to roll for Tessina?
Yes, please.
Her charisma saving
Evelyn
throw is +6.
She's so cool.
Is this a charm
Evelyn
effect?
is immune. I don't know, and
if the effect is like, oh, then you're charmed by the...
It's not a charm. It's not. I don't think it's exactly a charm. I think just roll it regular for right now, and it'll be fine.
11 for Tessina.
Okay. Cool. So, you're both. It's more of like a being drawn. So it's her alluring presence. You're just kind of drawn toward the siren in this case. So I assume you've just arrived in Idle Passage?
Yes, we've come on a mission of great importance to save a number of people from terrible things. And I don't want to speak for everybody, but I feel drawn to you. I think that maybe you can help us.
Perhaps. What sort of help are you looking for? What sort of danger are these people involved in?
The people that we aim to assist are afflicted with a terrible disease.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that perhaps someone in this castle might know something about it. It might be able to help them.
They might. Do you have valuable with you?
Yes, we've got gold.
How much?
Plenty. We've got more copper than we do gold, but
Well, that happens sometimes.
we've got...
How about why don't the three of you take a walk with me?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Wonderful. Okay. So she just kind of leads you all down the hall. She just kind of loosely drapes her arm through your elbow, if that's okay.
I accept.
Maybe let's take a tour outside of the castle, although I need to be back in an hour or so.
Oh, do you have a meeting?
Yes. So, Garreth, I want you to roll a perception check as you guys are walking around.
Perception check. Here we go. Perception. 14 total.
Okay, so as you're passing one hallway, you think that you hear chain of some kind, or like a chain being kind of dragged across a stone floor, but it's really faint, and then it kind of fades immediately. And you also notice as you guys are walking around with Lorelei that every single time you kind of approach a set of guards, you see her, they all turn and kind of look, and you see her nod to them, and they go back to their post. So she's giving you guys the okay.
With the chain pull, does Lorelei react at all?
Not that you can tell.
Okay, can I note where that's coming from?
Yes.
Ooh, and can I say, oh, what's that to her?
You can. Oh, that sound? Well, not everyone wants to be here all the time. I'm sure it's nothing more than that.
I can't imagine anyone wanting to part from a place that attracts such lovely company.
Well, that's a nice way of looking at it. So you guys step back out into the fresh air of a beautiful evening in Idle Passage. And the square has calmed down a bit, but you see glowing lights in all of the buildings. And so Lorelei takes you all through kind of a really pretty outdoor garden with a stone walkway. We should be able to talk more freely out here. So you said these people are afflicted with some form of a sickness?
Yes, refugees from Beacon have been afflicted with some kind of infernal illness, and I don't know, the Lord of Idle Passage is rumored to be a powerful individual that we've been led to believe could have information or some path forward for these people.
Yes, I certainly see why you would think so. My concern is that acquiring said information in a direct enough way for it to be useful would be the difficulty.
What do you mean? Is the Lord of these environs disinclined to help those less fortunate?
Yes, when they don't have any money to give. We don't have a nobility here in Leesmain in the same way as many of the other city-states in Eldura. So Lucien has created this spot for himself, and it is very similar to an estate, but he doesn't feel the responsibility to care for people in and around his home, as it's something that he's built up himself, not something that he's inherited.
Well, Idle Passage at least seems very similar to Respite in that regard then, unfortunately. And what are your thoughts about Lucien, Lorelei? Are you ever among those that would not wish to be here always?
Yes, certainly. I have lots of friends in the castle. Sorry. I punched my keyboard drawer. Let's... What I would suggest is that shortly after midnight, you find yourselves over near that outer wall. Climb up onto the parapet if you can. If the guards are nearby, then don't bother. And just kind of keep an eye on what you see leaving or arriving.
What we see what now?
Leaving or arriving.
Okay. How did she seem when I asked her if she ever wanted to leave Idle Passage?
Roll an insight check.
Come on, Garreth. Natural 1. for a total of 5.
She looked really pretty. You're not sure. Sun was like shining just perfectly, and Tessina sneezed, so who knows?
Gosh, you talk good.
So is there anything that you actually, sorry, I'll let her ask you. Is there anything you'd like to see while you're here?
What we'd like to see. I don't know if Garreth knows how to answer that question. What we'd like to see. Does Tessina or Evelyn have any things that they want to see? I don't know. We're like kind of.
Are there more tressums like Princess Slobberchops? Because that would be pretty cool. No tressums exactly. There are some interesting and exotic creatures, certainly. Are you wanting to see them?
Sure, are you offering a tour? I would do almost anything to spend more time in your company.
That's very sweet. I don't know that I can offer a tour. I think, again, the safest bet would be to be near the castle wall, and I think that will give you at least a good idea of what's going on.
Well then, certainly.
Why don't I escort you all to your tavern, and I'll head back inside.
As we go, can I ask her about Drex?
Mm-hmm.
Lorelei, what's your opinion on Drex? Not as handsome as me, right? Not as muscular.
He's not as handsome as you, almost as muscular. Rex is not to be taken lightly, I would say, although he can be persuaded, and he really doesn't like to miss out on opportunities.
Well, I think that we can probably do something with that. Don't you, Tessina?
I really do. We're very persuasive.
Well, thank you for your hospitality.
You're welcome. Here you are, the Golden Lion. Enjoy.
So what kind of place is the Golden Lion?
The Golden Lion is a very nice looking tavern. I think just like pretty classic. It seems to be kind of middle of the line. So it's relatively clean, bustling environment, but not so close that you can't move around anywhere. Here, I can get us some tavern music for fun.
Tavern music.
Where is it? Tavern music. I mean, that's kind of a weird transition. But yeah, you see, you see a trio in the corner of 3 bards with a viol and a lute, and I can't ever remember what the larger, because it wouldn't have been a guitar, but it would have been like around that size. Anyway, it'll come back to me. 3 stringed instruments in the corner. It sounds beautiful. There is a really smiley looking man with a full beard at the bar, and you see a couple different servers kind of bustling about the restaurant, and so most of the patrons seem really happy. Roll a perception check.
Perception check coming up. Here we go. Perception check is going to be another nat 1. 2 in a row.
By the flame in the...
It's okay.
There are patrons here. Oh, did you bother him?
Yeah.
It's probably okay. There are people here.
Look, Tessina, people...
And I'm gonna go up to the... you said the barkeep guy was really muscular?
I said he's kind of big with a big beard.
I'm gonna go see Big Beard.
Okay. Hello there.
My good sir, my friends and I have traveled all the way from distant lands to visit your humble establishment, and I'm hoping that we can
You came here for me.
Well, we have some other business in the area, but mostly it was you.
Oh, well, you're too kind. How can I help you?
Well,
Got a nail in the house? So you get him a nail in the house. You see a little gnome kind of pop up onto a stool, fill up your ale, pop down. Or not a stool, like a little stepladder, pop down, and pop back up in front of you on a different stepladder.
it's service like this that brings people in to the Golden Lion.
I agree. On that all the time. Yeah, we just need more step stools. Okay, that's it.
I'm Master Garreth Stosdak from Respite, and I have the pleasure of addressing...
Oh, Hendrix.
And who's your little friend? Hello, friend.
Hello. My name is Gary.
Gary, thank you for the ale, and I hold it up to salute him, and I say, Hendrix, I'll be honest with you, we did have some other business in Idle Passage.
Oh, most people do.
What do you make of the... You know...
Thumb?
What do you make of Lucien?
He certainly knows how to draw a crowd, doesn't he? I've only spoken to the man a few times myself. A very charming fellow. Kind of scary, but charming. And then the charmingness and the scariness interact together. I don't know how, but they do.
Scariness how?
It's kind of intimidating. He wants to be. I don't know. For me, I've got this feeling that he could just and that would be it.
Your throat would just explode?
Or he'd snap his fingers and then somebody would just cut my head off of the rest of my body or something.
Oh my. Does that happen a lot around here?
I don't see bodies without heads really ever, so I'm not sure. Probably not.
Very well. Did I ask you about lodging this evening?
Are you the three that had the rooms? How many rooms do I have here?
Yes. I look back at Evelyn and Tessina. What do they want to do about rooms? Princess Slobberchops gets her own room.
Obviously. Tessina kind of pulls on your sleeve. Maybe it depends on how much the rooms are.
Yes, my good sir, how much is a room in your fine establishment?
So, you all are here on business, is that correct?
Indeed.
Alright, we can work with here on business. Will you be having a meal with us this evening?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Alright, how about I put you in one of our larger rooms for 15 gold for the evening?
My.
Sorry.
Do you have anything more modest, or is that price more of a place to start a conversation about how much a room is?
What do you have in mind instead?
Well, I look back at Evelyn and Tessina. Do they have any skills? Tessina has a lute on her. I happen to have with me, as a traveling partner, a renowned lutist. And she would consider putting on a show for you all in exchange for a modest consideration in regards to the price. Isn't that right, Tessina? And I give her a look like, isn't that right?
Tessina pauses from looking around for the lutist that you know. Oh, yes, yes. for a free room, dinner, 2 breakfasts, and a cat bed. What?
Or somewhere in the middle.
Or, yes. Roll a persuasion check for Tessina. I guess whichever one of you has the higher persuasion, if you want to roll with advantage, since you're helping each other.
Okay. Here we go.
You got this, honey.
Tessina has 4, so here we go.
Wait.
A 7 or a 19? I think we'll take the 19.
Good call. All right. And do you guys know Lorelei pretty well? The one who walked you over here?
Yes, we're very closely acquainted.
So if I were to write something on, say, a napkin and give it to you to give to Lorelei, would you do that?
I could certainly see you making that happen. Do you have...
The medium-sized room it is. Little Missy, you're on in about 30 minutes.
I look at her like, go get set up. You know what to do.
All right. Come on, Evelyn.
How's Evelyn doing with our
They
shenanigans?
tugged Evelyn over. She's okay. She's going to go help Tessina.
What does this guy's note say?
I'll have it for you in the morning.
It's important to carefully consider our napkin notes.
I think so. If we don't have that, then we basically don't have a civilized society.
It all falls apart.
And why have an inn?
So I'm gonna kind of like conclude my business with him and, do like the elbows on the bar and kind of scan the room while Tessina gets ready and performs.
Okay. Would you like to roll a perception check?
Perception. Here we go. A 7.
Okay, it's pretty crowded in here,
Busy.
but it seems like Evelyn and Tessina are safe. There are these dwarves with these crazy long beards. It's really interesting.
How do they not step on those?
One of them is like tying his beard in different types of bows and showing it off to the other dwarves. It's kind of distracting. So then you hear, after you've been studying the beards, excuse me, everyone, we have a special musical rendition for you from the Witchwood and Elise made native. Woo! And so then Tessina starts like clapping for herself and Evelyn, and then they kind of launch into their song. Why don't you? Oh, sorry.
Oh, if I could have, I would have, come up to Tessina right before her and been like,
Okay.
You've got this. Vulcan is looking out for you.
and cast guidance on her.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, Garreth. That means a lot to me. Would you like to roll a performance check for Tessina?
Here we go.
With advantage with Evelyn's help.
An 18.
Woo!
Plus 3 is 21 total.
Nice. So Tessina leads the crowd in some buoyant bar shanty songs that have like these call and responses that get really, really elaborate. And then Evelyn kind of serenades everyone for a few songs with some classic Leesmanish ballads. You see your friendly bartender kind of wiping the corners of his eyes. The dwarves are doing the same things with their beard.
Yes.
Standing ovation. Everybody's really happy. So you guys get free drinks for the rest of the night. You have lots of new friends, and you have somewhere to stay.
That's wonderful. As I make all my new friends, I think Garreth would be trying to get a sense of Lucien and what kinds of deals he usually makes, and like he's just trying to like anything that he can gather of interest, he's going to try to gather.
Okay, try one more perception check.
Can I roll a charisma check since I'm talking to people?
Sure.
Thank you. 7.
This ale really goes straight to one's head, no? Skål!
Yeah, and so you're having a hard time. You can tell that there are people here who are doing deals and trades, but they're either selling crazy things you've never heard of, or they're making things up, or some combination of the two. You're just having a really hard time. Like, it's a little bit too loud, and just the delivery of things, you're just not very sure. I sell eggs. Oh.
We're going to, I guess we'll kind of hang out for a little bit, but I think that we're going to call it an early night so that we can have our midnight appointment.
Okay, cool. So you, cheers. Tessina and Evelyn go back on for an encore later. You go back up to your room. We made so many friends. Everyone likes us so much here. Isn't that good? That will probably help with tomorrow, don't you think?
Absolutely. Your performance was incredible. Evelyn, I didn't know that you could sing so beautifully.
Thank you.
Where did you learn those songs?
Oh, here.
Dude.
My sister loves to sing, so when we lived here before, I learned them.
Did your parents sing?
I think my mom did. At least when we were going to sleep. But yeah, between my sister or Rowan, there have been... Sometimes you just need to sing yourself out of a situation, or into one. That's worked out.
I couldn't agree more. Is there anything that we should prepare before tonight?
Do you need to bring that special sword that you were going to make?
Yes.
Is that for tomorrow?
Well, so I can make a thing like once a day. I wonder if, since it's getting on towards the end of the day, I'm gonna try to, and he's gonna kind of spend some time and Vulcan, and just like he's bending metal and stuff, and he's gonna make a grappling hook, or like he's gonna make a grappling hook, and that's gonna be his use of his power, like on this day, and then after midnight and the next day, hopefully he's going to try to do the sword thing that we talked about at the end of the last game.
Right. So does that ability need to reset with a rest, or is it just every day?
Let me find out. This is a good question. So it's a channel divinity.
Mm-hmm.
And I get my channel divinity back. You must then finish a short or long rest to use my channel divinity again. So I guess I can do it relatively frequently if I do a short rest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so a short rest or a long rest, and I get my channel divinity back.
Nice. Okay, that's perfect. So yeah, you make your grappling hook. Do you guys take a little rest or something before you... Garreth, that looks very nice. You did such a good job.
Thank you, and isn't it cool that...
What should we grapple with this? And Tessina's like just kind of waving it around a little bit.
That's too funny.
Careful, it's sharp, and
Yeah, I think we'll take a little short rest as we wait for the appropriate time, and then we'll slip out. I think we're going to be as surreptitious as possible as we leave. Are we in like the second floor? Is there a window? What's our tavern situation?
Yeah, so you're on the second floor by the window, kind of overlooking the way that you came in. Whereas, so I'm going to say, are you on the little picture with me?
I am now.
Okay, so here's the entrance. So I say it's kind of in the middle of the compound. It just makes a large circle. And so then over on the left-hand side from where you would have come in is where Lorelei was suggesting that you be for like around midnight.
Okay. So we will, we're just going to kind of slip out and be as inconspicuous as possible as we make our way over there.
Hey, why don't you roll a stealth check for me?
Okay. Stealth check. Here we go.
And it can be just a straight roll since you have help, but you're rolling for the party.
Okay. I rolled a 13 total.
Okay, cool. We really enjoyed that performance. The bartender kind of yells to you all as you leave. But most of the patrons at this point seem to be pretty sloshed or just kind of tired. You see a few people, now that it's later and there are fewer crowds, you see a few people who look really discouraged or kind of frustrated. Well, so you go outside and you go to the wall.
Yes.
Okay. You're by the wall for a few minutes. And there are lanterns out in the square. You don't really see very many people out and about. The other taverns are still kind of glowing, and some of them are more boisterous than yours. So you get the idea that in some places on Idle Passage, at least, they seem to be kind of an all day, all night type of affair. And it's been about 20 minutes, and you start to kind of think that maybe you've been waiting for so long for no reason. When roll a perception check.
Oh no. My kryptonite this whole game. Perception check. 6. Can I roll with advantage since I'm doing it for the party?
Sure.
15.
Okay. So you wait and wait and wait. And Evelyn at one point kind of elbows you as you're staring at the sky. Look. It's down the hill, and you see it's like below you on the wall, there's an outcropping, and you see a few figures walking out. And with Evelyn and Tessina's help, especially Evelyn, she sees really well in the dark, you see the figure of Lorelei, and a couple other attendants. You also see like a large burly man who you think at least could be Drax. And so they're out there for a minute or so, and you're vroom, 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 vroom on the wind. And the stars overhead are blotted out as this giant, scary, dark creature kind of pulling shadows to it across the sky makes this really dramatic descent. So the people on the ground are kind of sheltering from the giant breeze that this thing is causing. Can you see that okay? Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
Gloomstalker? Cool.
It's cool, right?
It is cool.
Oh. You see it, this kind of, it's wyvern-esque, but with more shadows, and like really it has glowing red eyes, and its teeth kind of catch the moonlight as it lands. And you see it land, and you see the big burly guy go forward and kind of hold up a hand and help this elegantly dressed man in a long flowing cloak off of the wyvern, and he kind of gestures. Roll a perception check just for you, Garreth.
Oh my goodness.
I don't say out loud. Nat 20.
Cool. And so you see a you see the person who's getting off of this wyvern-esque creature kind of gesture behind them, and the big burly guy kind of goes forward and like lifts up a person-shaped body of some kind from the back of the wyvern and like carries them inside. And with your nat 20, you catch both that this person, their skin looks kind of like bark a little bit, and you see them like struggling a little bit, and at the same moment you hear Evelyn fence behind you, and then you see the like really dark chains around this person's like wrists and ankles, and kind of putting the two and two together, Evelyn's reaction and what you see, it reminds you at least of the things that you saw in the dungeon before.
Yikes.
And so the like large man carries this person inside underground.
And
the whole party kind of sweeps in after the like eagle looking person.
And what does the Gloomstalker do?
And sorry, with your nat 20, you see a glimpse and a wave from the bottom that might be somebody brushing aside their hair, or might be a glimpse and a wave to you. And so after they all go back in, the Gloomstalker takes off into the air again and goes off into the forest. Not the forest. I guess it goes off towards a cave.
Nice.
It lives in a cave.
Garrett's gonna whip around and say,
What do you all make of that? If Lucien is associated with the same bastards that did that to those people in Respite, those refugees, those natural magic users, what
Garrett, do you think it's safe for us to talk about that here? Should we go back to our room?
You don't want to follow them? After a time, just give them some time and then maybe try to... I have this grappling hook.
well, you do. And I imagine Garreth holds up Tessina, who's been holding the grappling hook and grappling things.
Yeah. We could grapple this wall.
That's why I made it.
Garrett, that is so smart. I thought you wanted me to like attach it to Princess Flower Chops in case she needed like a second backpack or something.
Not
And this was
time.
like the larger test version. You're going to make her a little version. Go.
I
Or
look
wait,
over,
how long do we wait?
I look over at Evelyn.
2. She's just kind of scowling.
I don't suppose there's any... I don't want to sound like you know everybody in these Maine or anything, but I don't suppose you recognize that person.
I think that they were an Oread. Fae that are connected to mountains, but they're especially known for storytelling proclivities, and they are very much about unity among different civilizations and kind of the ways that stories connect people across different spaces. But they are a different type of Fae than Evelyn is. I think you're certainly right to suspect a connection between the two sets of stones. I don't know that... I don't think this person is on the same side of the conflict as we are, to be sure. But
Our side doesn't use evil black chains to kidnap people and then ride around on whatever the hell that was.
did you see those shadows?
You're obviously a bad guy if you're riding around on one of those.
I think that thing is from the negative planes.
That's where we're trying to go.
No. What if that's where those stones are from?
then that makes what we have to do that much more urgent.
Well, and if it's not from the negative planes, it's at least from the Shadowlands, but like a really dark part of the Shadowlands. I've been there. It's not all the worst thing ever. Some of it is. I'm not saying I want to build a summer home here, but...
I think that we need to quietly make our way down there.
Okay. Really good call with the grappling hook. Still got Tessina's hand. Are you sure this will hold us?
Well, we don't all have to go down at the same time.
Oh, well, this would be more exciting.
It would be more exciting to be a chain.
We could kind of bounce as we go. Just tell people that's what we did.
Okay, deal. Tessina, grapple this.
I find something for her to grapple, and I'm gonna start attaching rope to the grappling hook.
She does it really soft. Woo! Kidding. She grapples, I don't know, something nearby.
And we're going down, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we saw, like, okay. So, yeah. We'll grapple, and then I think, Tessina is gonna send her familiar down to the doorway to keep.
Ooh, I was gonna tell you. So I decided instead of her having a familiar and Princess, like her kind of spirit familiar and Princess Slobberchops, that Princess Slobberchops could just function as a familiar.
Love it.
So what do you want to have? What do you want Princess Slobberchops to do?
Princess Slobberchops is going to go on a Princess Slobberchops size mission, go down into the entryway thing, and keep a lookout. And she's going to alert Tessina because they share a bond.
Right.
She's going to alert Tessina to if she sees anything or anything's coming, as we try to make our way down the wall.
Cool. Okay. Trust
I'm excited.
I'm so glad, honey. So, Princess Slobberchops gets +5 to perception checks. So why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check for her? Sorry, sometimes Princess Slobberchops is a him to me, and sometimes he's a her, or just like a...
Maybe she kind of depends on the day. 22 for a perception check.
Amazing. Princess Slobberchops finds 5 fireflies, eats a mouse, and the coast seems clear.
Wonderful. So we are going to make our way down the rope into the sketchy entryway.
It works out just like Tessina imagined, with you guys kind of bouncing down the rope at the same time. No, you probably go one at a time. You go down the rope. Yay!
Rope check.
Do you like to make a dexterity check?
Not if I don't have to.
Gonna make one for fun?
Sure. Can it be athletics since we're climbing?
Sure.
I rolled an 11.
Okay, that's fine. You look really cool doing whatever it is that you're doing.
And Garreth, like, does the wrap it around one leg kind of thing. Just, like, rappelling down.
You only end up upside down once. So, pretty good day.
It'd be so, like, if you're upside down in that situation, just, like, all your adventuring crap, just...
Pulling you down.
Just ball bearings falling from on high. Blip, 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 blip.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there would be so many.
I got a lot of ball bearings. Got a lot of balls.
So, I thought that this music would be scarier. We're going to give it just a minute. I think... It's not good?
It doesn't drop. It's just kind of like, we're in space.
It's supposed to be... I think it's supposed to be scarier, but you're not in a dungeon. Okay, I'll try this one. How's that?
It's definitely more eerie.
Okay. There are people walking around everywhere, and somebody's clock is ticking. I don't know if I'll be able to. I'm going to try to handle this one, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. So, this has gone a little bit differently than I anticipated. So, I don't have, like, a great map for us for this. So we're in a theater of the mind for now, and then if we need to take like a little pause or something and get a map, then we can do that. Here. Okay. This is good. Okay, are you... Oh, let me get you over here with me.
I think it's sketchy and scary. See, you said that we weren't in a dungeon, and it's not a dungeon?
We just had so many dungeons before. A creepy, long hallway.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
We're at the end of a creepy long hallway. What is the hallway? Is it like stone? Are there doors?
It is stone, so you guys are standing. I know it's just like a brown exterior, but you guys are standing. Sorry, this is too loud. I can't focus. Behind you is a grassy field outside of the beautiful land of Lee's Main, specifically outside of Idle Passage. So this sloped tunnel is pretty tall, so at least I think 10 feet, maybe 15 feet tall, 10 feet wide, kind of. And it is made of stone. This part, especially the stone, is kind of mossy. But up ahead, the moss kind of fades out where it's not right on the outside.
And there's a door here. Do I see anybody, or do I hear any footsteps?
Roll a perception check. So there's not a door. You're standing outside of an archway that leads into the hall.
Okay. Perception check. A gentleman's 12.
Okay. So you see a door. Let me see. I'll get us a couple of doors. Caroline is back.
Hello, princess. We decided we needed some attention.
Door. Okay, you see two doors.
Cool. I think that Garreth is going to whisper to Sina and say, "Can you send Princess Loverchops up ahead to see if there's anything interesting?" And then Tessina is going to use her kind of see-through Slobberchops, and we're going to send Slobberchops down the hall and stop her like right there to see if she can see around that corner.
Okay, why don't you roll a perception check for Princess Slobberchops with her +5.
Okay. Here we go. Nat 20. Princess Slobberchops is now the leader of the group. 25.
Cool. Okay. With her 25, Princess Slobberchops sees about 200 feet ahead a party of people minus she does not see the siren anymore, nor does she see the big guy or the prisoner. Just see the fancy guy and a couple other people. And she found 2 more mice.
Wow. So they're in the far distance to the north?
Nope. You asked to see down this hall to the right, so that's where she was looking.
Okay. And what does she see to the north?
She sees the hall just kind of keeps going. She doesn't see anybody. It's not as well lit up ahead.
Okay. And I think Tessina is going to be kind of relaying all this information.
I think that Evelyn can give Tessina a piggyback ride and kind of escort her down the hall.
I think we're going to go to this first door, and Garreth is going to listen at the door.
Okay, roll a perception check, Garreth.
And then he's going to try to also determine if this door is locked. Is it like a kind of your standard fantasy door, like wood bound with iron kind of deal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and no people on this one.
So he's got a 15 for his perception check to listen and see if there's anything he can hear on the other side of the room.
Okay, so Garreth, as you listen at the door, you do not hear anything on the other side, and it does not seem to be locked.
Cool. And I think that he's going to signal for Evelyn to move up and check this door.
Okay. Evelyn can do that. Let me roll her perception check. Whoop. Ah. Okay. When Evelyn kneels in front of the door and lays her hand on the handle, you hear her wince again and kind of jump back away from the door.
I
think okay? that I can't go in there.
Garreth nods, and he's going to try to open this door that he's in front of.
Okay. You can open that door. It's not locked.
We open the door.
Okay. Inside, you see crates and a few barrels of wine. This seems to be a food storage room. And there are bats. I'm just kidding, but they're in the sound.
I'm going to gesture to Evelyn and to Sina to come in this room and get out of the hallway. Is that okay?
They follow you? Mm-hmm.
These sounds are so creepy.
I couldn't handle the ticking anymore.
And Garreth is going to go try this door.
Okay. Garreth, that door is locked.
Okay. Can we send Princess Slobberchops around this corner and see what she sees to the west?
Mm-hmm. To the west, she also sees a long hallway with several doors. She does not see any people.
Okay. I'm gonna keep Princess Slobberchops pacing kind of back and forth in this area and being sneaky and keeping a lookout, and I'm gonna see if Tessina can pick this lock.
Okay. Why don't you roll a dexterity check for Tessina and add her proficiency bonus since she's been practicing on different locks that she's found at your blacksmith shop with her new toolkit.
And as she does too, I'm gonna say, "Let Vulcan guide your hand. Feel the metal. Listen to what it says."
Nice.
Oh, I rolled a dexterity saving throw for her.
Okay, do you want to just roll it again, but not that?
Yes, but what if it's better? Okay. So 8.
And add your guidance.
Plus 2 is 10. Plus guidance is... Why did I roll 40? Oh, I rolled 44. That was crazy. Just 1d4.
So I think...
13 total.
Okay. Unfortunately, Tessina is not able to break the lock.
Okay. So before I bust this door down, because I feel like... Garreth is thinking that their person that was in chains is in there, and we're going to do a rescue, because that's what we do.
So, Garreth, are you communicating this to anyone? It looks very similar to the storage door that you saw across the hall, and you were at the very beginning of an entryway.
But there's Darkstone in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, there's Darkstone in there. Do you think the prisoner is in there?
I don't know. Where would you put the prisoner if you were locking someone down here?
I don't know. I'm not a crazy person that abducts people.
Well, I'm not either. Why am I supposed to know?
Okay. Maybe we'll come back to it.
Okay.
So when I look down this hall, are there doors here and here? Are these all rooms, or?
Roll a perception check, just a general perception check for the hall.
17.
Okay. Here we go. Oops. So you see two doors across from each other, and these doors are different than the ones that were in the main hallway, where you see little peepholes in them.
Oh, I see peepholes in these two doors.
I do want you to roll just a general stealth check.
Am I rolling for the party or just for Garreth?
You can roll for the party.
Garreth rolled a 0 first. And then an 18.
Okay. So why did you roll stealth twice?
Oh. I was rolling with advantage, but I have disadvantage. So I guess I rolled a 0.
Guys, I think that it's safe. Coast is clear. Lorelei! I've come to see you! Come to me, Necropolis.
Okay, little buddy, you are standing in this hallway. Do you go look in the doors? Oh, oops, I hit the wrong button.
It sounds like I'm kicking in the door.
So you don't have to I'm sure that... Well, so I think the part of why your stealth gets messed up is that you see a person inside each of these cells. So inside the bottom cell, so nearest the entrance, you see the dryad that you saw earlier that day. And in the northernmost cell, or the upper cell, you see who you think is probably the Oread from who you saw just a little bit ago.
Are these doors locked? Can I check them?
Yeah, go ahead and check.
Do they appear to be chained inside the room?
They do seem to be chained inside their rooms.
Is it investigation to check the lock?
I think so. That's fine with me.
Nat 20. From a 0 to a nat 20. That's how we like to do it.
Mm-hmm. So the doors are locked, but down the hall, you see a set of keys.
Down the hall, it's this way, where Lucien was walking?
Mm-hmm.
To the east. Okay, okay. More because this is who I am, and less because Garreth is... Ooh. I'm gonna say...
Tachita, send Princess Slobberchops to go grab the keys. I'm gonna check out this other door.
Okay. So you hear... Princess Slobberchops goes to get the keys. Clink. Okay, roll just a general, either perception or investigation is fine for this other door.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, you don't see anyone in this cell, but it does look like it could hold a person, but you don't see anyone there right now.
Can I... This might be weird, so tell me no if I need to hear no. Can I sniff the air and see where Lorelei's intoxicating scent, if it's stronger towards the north or to the...
Go ahead. I think that sounds like a perception check to me. with advantage because you have been charmed by this person, so you know exactly what they smell like.
How about a 16?
Okay, she is definitely to the west.
But she's not in this room, so...
She's not imprisoned in that room.
I'm going to say... Ladies, Lorelei's this way. Let's help Princess Slobberchop here. So I think we're gonna, before we go and see about Lorelei, we're going to get the keys from Princess Slobberchops.
Mm-hmm.
And Garreth is gonna say, tell Evelyn to kind of stay back because he doesn't want the badness to hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
And Garreth is going to free the prisoners.
Garreth, when you touch the key,
Of course, it's a mimic.
You hear a sound down the hall heading towards you. You hear some pretty heavy footsteps sprinting your way. Oh, I don't know why my thing stopped playing.
From the west.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, that's not what I wanted. You hear, hey! You there?
Is it Drex or is it a guard?
You're not sure at this point. They're about 40 feet away, but it's a large man telling you to stop what you're doing.
Garreth is going to turn and walk towards the person.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to gesture for Tessina to make herself scarce.
Stop! What are you doing down here?
And he walks over.
Mm-hmm.
Garreth is going to say, yes, Master Lucien has told me to come and offer some last rites to these wretched souls. I'm a cleric, you see.
That's right. Roll a deception check.
Here we go. 11.
Okay. I am afraid I don't know why they are receiving last rites.
They're clearly in need of some religion.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to find like a guard thing. Are you trying like a little token? We're almost to the G's. Sorry, it was supposed to be really fast.
Of course. Oh, it came back. Yay.
What happened?
Oh, it's fine.
Oh. Boom. All right. Why don't you come along with me then? We can speak to Master Lucien about this directly.
I'm going to say, actually, he doesn't really need to be bothered with this. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. And I'm gonna, like, punk him.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Here we go. I'm good at intimidating. 22.
Okay. So he goes, ah! He kind of backs up.
I don't want him to, like, go away. I think that, like, as I was talking to him, I'd have,
He's
like...
backing away from you.
Oh.
You scared him.
Well, I wanted, like, part of my intimidation to be, like,
We don't need to do this. And then I was going to turn him around and send him the other direction away from Lucien. I think, so Garreth is going to say, since he's backing away, Garreth is going to say, I think you should actually go that way, friendo.
Why?
Get out of here before I do something I'm gonna regret.
He turns and runs down the hall.
Nope. Can't let him do that. He's the one that started this.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna... I guess I'm gonna start with just catching up with him, and I will start with my grapple.
Okay. So why don't you roll just a general dexterity check for me to see if how easy it is for you to catch up to him.
7.
Okay. He's got a pretty good head start.
If Garreth realizes that he's not going to be able to catch him, then I'm going to have to cast something. But he's not going to let this guard run off.
Okay. So you catch him like, I don't know, 60, 90 feet down the hall. And you try to grapple him?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Why don't you roll a contested athletics check?
15. Beat that. Guard chump.
So he rolled a 20. So he goes, ah! Starts sprinting some more.
Nope. I'm going to say... I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say... I'm going to say... Halt! And cast command at him.
Okay. Does a 10 save?
It does not.
Okay, so he stops.
Doesn't move, it takes no actions. And so I'm going to catch back up with him, and I'm going to use my next action to, like... I'm going to slap some manacles on his legs.
Okay. So you cast command that affects his turn. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then it's your turn again, so then you're going to manacle him for your action.
Yes.
Okay. Do you manacle the guard? Roll a stealth check.
This is going great. Stealth check. Here we go. A 6 probably passes, right?
Probably.
Garreth is going to try to muffle the obviously screaming guard and just, like, go back down the hall as quickly as he can, if that's possible. I don't know.
Okay.
That's his intention.
Okay, so you want to just drag him back down the hall?
Yeah.
Okay. So you drag him back towards your friends? Okay, it's pretty loud.
Yeah. If while this is happening, Tessina could have opened one of these doors, then that would have been great.
Keys.
But okay, never mind.
Okay, so how about you tell me what it is that you were trying to accomplish?
So Gareth's short-term...
And so that way I can find out if we need to be in initiative order or not.
Right, so Gareth's short-term plan is he's going to take this guard and he's going to open one of these cells and put the guard in the cell and put the manacles on the guard and free the 2 prisoners and stick the guard in the cell. That's the...
Okay.
That's the plan. And he would get help if he felt like he got within range to communicate that without making even more ruckus than he's already made.
Okay. So Tessina will run down the hall, kind of snatch the keys from you, click, opens one of the cells. Do you want her to go for the top cell or the bottom cell first?
We'll go top cell first.
Okay, so she gets, she kind of helps a very weak-oriented person out of the cell. It's very pretty. She has, I'm trying to think. I should say. I remember the tree name in a second. Anyway, what is it? I was doing a bunch of research on mountain ashes, but I can't remember what they're like actual name, because that's what we call them here, but I don't know that anybody else calls them that.
I don't know.
It'll come to me later. It might be Rowan trees, but I don't think so. But maybe. We'll find out later. Okay. So Tessina and Evelyn helps her as best she can, pulls the person out of the top cell. And as you guys are sticking the guard in, Cling, you close the cell?
We're gonna close him in the cell. Yeah.
Okay. Roll a perception check while this is happening.
19.
Okay. So while this is happening, so Evelyn and Tessina have like supported this person who's standing right outside the cell. You're dragging the guard, and you hear click, 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 click. And I'm just going to use the guard's little token right now, because he's right here. And you see the broad-shouldered man from before in his shiny shoes just kind of cross his arms. Can I help you?
Do you want to take
and that's where we're going to take a break.
Nice. Okay, everybody. So we're going to be back in 15 minutes at 8:47 Eastern. And we'll see you then. So when we left off, Garreth had just swapped a guard for a prisoner. And then we heard the click-clack of fancy boots and turned around. There was a big dude there asking us what's up. Will you say that again, honey? I'm sorry.
Okay, how about it's going now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You sound great.
Okay. Let me just shrink this window again. I'm so sad. Whatever updated, it totally changed the default window size. It used to be exactly perfect for my little setup here, but no more.
But alas.
I was mad, and it's huge every time I want it to be skinny so I can see everything on my page. Okay, what do you say to this large guard person?
I'm going to say, and are Tessina and Evelyn there?
Uh-huh. Sorry, so they're kind of like right, here. So they're right next to you in the hall, just kind of holding up and supporting this person. And like, he just got caught at kind of an inconvenient time.
Yes. And this person, as he walks up, is he obviously armed? Like, does he have like a big sword on his back, or?
He has a large sword on his hip. And he's like a really tall person, like this long cape. You think he's the guy you saw earlier. But yes, obviously armed. He does not have his weapon drawn, however.
And I'm sorry to keep asking so many questions, but is he a human?
As far as you can tell.
Okay. Garreth is going to say, hoping that this is Drex, because he was described as a big dude. We're just going to go with it. Drex, thank goodness.
Have we met?
We have not yet had the pleasure, but I have been looking forward to making your acquaintance for some time, and I'll approach him and I'll stick my hand out.
He grasps your hand and then kind of like holds on to it. Why are you releasing people from their rooms?
One second. Garreth would do this faster than me. Garreth is going to say,
well, think about this as just one of many services that I might be able to provide Lucien.
Taking people out of his own cells.
This is a test of your security, and that guard in there did not pass muster. Now you know.
I'll be sure to make that known. It will be dealt with swiftly, I'm positive.
Garreth kind of goes, gulp.
Why don't the four of you and the flying cat come with me? We'll leave Timothy where he is.
I want to get the other prisoner too. Is he gonna wait? Does he like turn around? What's he doing?
He is waiting and gesturing for you to come with him down the hall.
To the north?
Mm-hmm.
But Lorelai's not to the north. Garreth is going to say...
Master Drex, I was anticipating having our meeting tomorrow. We had certain business to discuss.
We did, but now that you are releasing prisoners from their... shouldn't say prisoners. Now that you are releasing people from their residence places, your meeting with me has been canceled, and another one has taken its place.
The one that's taking this place is the meeting that we're having right now.
Yes, how about you come with me? Come on, let's go.
Okay. Hold on one second. Garreth is going to do something awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How is Drex set for metal? The question of everyone who has heat metal in their inventory. Is he wearing like a big metal face mask or something? That'd be awesome. Just burn his
He's not wearing
face.
anything on his head. I think you would guess from how he's dressed that he probably has metal somewhere in his, like as a breastplate or something. His armor seems to be metal or metal adjacent.
Okay. So Garreth is going to say this is probably a terrible idea, right? We're gonna roll with it. Garreth is gonna say,
Actually, Drex, this test of your security continues.
and he's going to smack him on the side of the head with his mace.
Okay. Hello, Buck. Would you like to come up here? Do you want to roll an attack?
Yes.
Okay.
$19 to hit for 7 points of bludgeoning damage, Actually, 8 points because both those go up by 1 since I did the special magic hammer thing. So 20 to hit with 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So that hit. Sorry, let me get his little thing going. You said 8 points of bludgeoning damage?
Yes.
Okay. So he kind of cries out as you whap him in the head. Why don't we go ahead and roll initiative?
I think so.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me get the initiative thing going. Alrighty.
Oh, goodness. This is where it happens. This is where it goes down.
Okay. Did you roll for...
Garreth rolled a 2. Of course he did, because that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And Tessina rolled an 18.
Good. Let me get Evelyn's here. Okay, she got a 13. Alrighty, let me get these in order, and then we'll be set. Okay. So Evelyn and Tessina do have a person between them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Tessina, it is your turn.
So I think Tessina is going to use her Fey Presence ability, and she's going to kind of
Her what presence?
Fey Presence?
What's that?
Oh. Let me see if I can put it in the...
Cool. Okay.
So she, as Drax is kind of like looking around and taking in these people that are turning on him, Tessina appears to him in the form of a super scary, I think like stereotypical hag witch kind of nightmarish figure, and she's going to try to make him frightened of her, and he needs to roll a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Mm-hmm. You got a 3.
So he is now frightened by Tessina, which means that he can't move towards her, and he attacks against her have disadvantage.
Okay.
So that's her action. I think she's going to put herself in a position. She's going to like take the keys, or she's going to try to work on this door so that she can help this person in here with the remainder of her movement and bonus action and stuff like that.
Okay. That sounds good. All right. So next it is Evelyn's turn. She's going to do, since we're attacking, she's going to do her Scorching Ray.
I love Scorching Ray.
So that's the first one hits. The next 2 both miss. What a bummer. So he takes 4 points of fire damage. Okay.
Carolina just had the funniest little poot.
Oh no. Give me 1 second to make sure that it took this spell. Okay. Great. So it is his turn. And since he cannot move towards Tessina, especially Garreth, and you're right there, he is going to make 2 longsword attacks.
Come on.
Against you. So that is a 23 and a 22 to hit.
Yikes. Both those hit.
Okay. So Garreth, you take... What is it doing?
You take 19 points of slashing damage.
Yikes. That's pretty serious. Okay.
And he starts kind of like calling down the hall.
Well, don't do that.
Buddy left.
Hey, buddy. We're very busy. We're just staring at me through the door.
Yeah. I think he thinks we forgot to give him his chew bone. Did I say that?
Yes. Okay, how terrible. So Garreth is going to cast Sanctuary on himself, which is something I've never done before.
Okay,
And,
cool.
There's kind of like a flare of little forge fire light that kind of emanates off of him a little bit. And he's going to try to make his attack on Drex with his action.
Okay.
Here we go. 16 to hit. Oh, actually 17 to hit for 8 points of bludgeoning damage if 17 hits.
Oh, the 17 was perfect. So that's his AC. So you said 8 more points?
8 more points of bludgeoning damage. He probably looks rough, right?
No.
Okay. And Garreth is going to be telling the ladies that we need to grab these two and go.
Okay. And so the two in the... Oh. It's just...
He just like comes in, looks so needy.
Yeah. Do you want to get up here? Okay, sorry. We're settling in underneath. Oh, good. Okay. Now we're all set. So the two that you guys are pulling out of the cell are not in great shape, especially the one that you already have. You're not totally sure about the other one. So it is very difficult to travel with them.
Okay.
So Tessina, it's your turn.
Tessina is going to free this person.
Okay.
And then she's going to move over here, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. So your movement is halved because you're helping this person.
So she can get like here.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna move over there and put the person behind her a little bit, and she was that her action to like get the person out, or is that part of?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lot. You open a cell, you unlock somebody, you pull them out.
Okay.
Do you have a bonus action you want her to use?
I mean, the sheet that I have for her right now doesn't say that she has any healing word or anything, but we've given her that in the past. I don't know how you feel about it, but if she can't do a healing word, then that'll be the end of her turn.
Do you want her to use a healing word? That's fine.
Okay. So we'll roll a d4. So 3 plus her casting.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus her casting modifier is 4, so that's 7 points. And she's gonna say, Garreth, protect Princess Slobberchops. It's a 7. That was 7, right? So Garreth is gonna go up 7.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be her turn.
Alrighty. So it is Evelyn's turn. She is going to... I think she's going to try and... If she does an ice knife, it'll hurt you too, won't it?
Yes, if she
Do a
targets...
firebolt, see what happens. Firebolt!
Ah!
I can't see. Let's see. Every time it opens to not where I want it to be. Oh my gosh. Okay, so her firebolt goes screeching over Drex's head. Cool. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do something important. You're fine. I know. We're having an emergency.
We are not fine. It's not like we just spent 10 minutes outside.
This little head right behind me. I know. Okay. So it is this guy's turn again.
Does Evelyn move down the hall
and
at all?
so she can't really. She's got this other person. I don't know where you want her to go.
Garreth is suggesting that they make some moves out. Yeah.
Okay. So here's functionally 20, 30. Moving half speed through somebody else's square.
Yeah.
Or through between two other people's squares, carrying someone else. Garreth, this person is going to disengage from you and start running down the hall.
Whoa. We scared him off. We won.
Sorry, so that was 5. And he's off the grid because I ran out of grid. It's just, it just doesn't go very far.
So his bonus action, did he get a dash for his bonus action?
Oh, I forgot about that. Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm asking.
Okay, so that's where he is. So, Garreth, it is your turn. Drex is calling, kind of like raising the general alarm.
Okay. Garreth is going to... So, will you tell me about my shield friend? Do I have any control over what he does?
Do you want him to do something? He can do stuff without it being okay with you. But let me see. I think he can do that too.
Well,
So he can cast Fireball or Wall of Fire.
I was thinking about...
So if you want to ask him to intervene, you can.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the shield guy to put some fire up for me. Like... here. I don't know how many squares it is, but he just wants to kind of like put a wall of fire up in between Drex and the reinforcements he's calling, and then Garreth is going to help everybody kind of get out of this tunnel and get out if that's possible.
Okay, so you want to prevent Drex from running down the hall.
Yes, and I'm going to keep Tessina in front of me so that he can't move towards her. So she's kind of leading the way out of
the... And then when does he get to save again against her her spell?
Good question.
Or should that have happened already?
The creatures that... damn, that kind of screws up my whole plan. The creatures that fail their saving throws are all charmed or frightened by you, your choice, until the end of your next turn. So
now.
Yeah.
You can still do the Wall of Fire. Is that what you want to do?
In light of our new understanding, if that's okay with you, then he would make the Wall of Fire here, if that's possible. I don't know how much space it has, but...
So I was trying to figure out a way to share this spell with you. You can make the wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick. So Drax will need to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's pretty good. 60 feet.
But yeah.
Yeah, so we'll kind of...
So what of these pink lines? Is it the whole pink line until you get to the arrow?
Lines.
You basically want to force him to run out after you.
Here's what we're going to do. So we're going to put the wall of fire here and just kind of block the different things, and we're going to try to retreat. And if he wants to run through the fire to get after us, then we'll deal with that when we deal with that. But...
And which side is the fire on? The side closest to him or the side closest to you?
The side away from us, so closest to him.
Okay. Okay. So you basically blocked off 3 halls. Okay. Sure. I believe. Yes. No concentration required.
When I ask the shield to intervene, does it say anything creepy?
I think right now it just says, certainly. Okay, so wall of fire starts up. You guys have your 2 prisoners.
And we're
running down the hall.
running down the hall. Garreth will support with his musculature the transfer of the prisoners.
Okay. So you're still at half speed then in that case.
That's fine. We're just going to try to get out
Okay.
as much as we can.
Okay. So we'll say that a minute goes by. You guys are in a wooded field outside of Idle Passage in the middle of the night. In general, what do you want to do? So you run out, but like we've got 10 rounds worth of things.
Yeah.
What is your plan?
So the plan will be we're going to get out of the obvious kind of line of sight as much as possible. And Garreth is going to try to get Evelyn, probably with her dark vision, to help him try the keys and see if we can unmanacle the hurt people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to say that takes a round for each of them, but you do manage to undo their manacles, which really helps Evelyn out in terms of getting away. I'm assuming you just leave the manacles there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps Evelyn out in terms of getting away from the dark stones. The people are still moving kind of slow, but it'd be more like 2/3 speed than half.
Okay.
Okay. And what else are you trying to do?
So these people look like
Are you trying to hide in the woods?
these people look like they've been like drained and abused.
They look drained. They don't. I mean, they don't. You don't see anything wrong beyond that.
Okay. Yeah, I think in that case we're going to try to evade in the woods as much as possible, and
Okay.
just kind of try to get out of Dodge as much as possible.
Okay. Okay. So why don't you roll a... I'm going to have you roll a stealth check for the party and a survival check for the party.
Do you want Garreth to roll for the party so it's a straight roll, or do you want individual rolls?
Garreth can roll for the party as a straight roll.
Stealth check, here we go. Ooh, he would have said, by the flame of the forge, get me out of this! Is that okay? Oh my god, it's not gonna matter. I rolled a 5. Plus 2 is 7.
Okay. And your survival check?
By the flame of the forge, where should we go? 14. Oh, wait, sorry. I rolled a 19 first.
There you go. Plus
4.
9. Okay. We'll let that be the prevailing roll. So, it seems like somebody could probably follow your trail, but you do find a place that is very shielded. About 30 minutes later, you hear boom, 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 and this kind of like piercing cry out into the night. But you are somewhere like it's covered enough where you are that you don't think that the flying creature can see you.
How horrifying. So I think moving forward, we would try to find a place that was like we thought that was relatively secure, and we were going to try to hide.
Okay. Do you hide till the morning? Or, I mean, so you find a place that's relatively secure. That's where you are right now. Evelyn looks at you. Garreth, what are we supposed to do now? Do we just go back?
No, we haven't gotten what we came for.
How will we?
I don't know yet. I couldn't leave them in there.
I didn't say that you should have. What do we do now? I think we rest for the night, don't you?
We do need to rest, and so do they.
I'll work on a way to see if Rowan can come by sooner and at least help them.
And when they feel up to it, we need to talk to them and find out why they were taken and what happened. And see if they know anything about our objectives.
It's a good idea. Are you okay to let them rest for now, or do we need to talk right now?
No, let them rest. They've been through a lot.
Seems. Take first watch if you want.
Yes, good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She kind of claps you on the shoulder. I think you guys have found like a little cave or a little outcropping or something. You think it might have been one of the abandoned buildings similar to what Rowan's staying in, but just older. But you're not totally positive.
Cool.
So, I don't know, honey. So this went just all kinds of interesting ways. Here, we'll listen to some happier music. Do you need time to figure out what Garreth would like to do next?
I think probably. I think a lot of that's going to depend on if Rowan can be involved or not. Like if Evelyn.
So I'm going to say, if we'll just like zoom out for a second, I'm going to say that Evelyn will get a bird to Rowan. Rowan was going to meet you guys that next like afternoon.
Yeah.
She's at least nearish by, ready to be on call, so she can show up by the next morning, or relatively early the next day. So maybe like 9-10 a.m. at the latest. So I'll say that you will, when Garreth wakes up for second watch or something, he finds out that Rowan will be able to come by. I'm not saying that the night passes with zero issues, but there's at least that. Do you want to, I don't know, so can you tell me what you want to have happen? Because I want you to have time to think about it, because Garreth has time to think about it.
So I think that Garreth will anticipate taking his watch, and then he's planning on interviewing the prisoners in the morning, and talking to Rowan, but generally he's determined to figure out either a cheeky way into Lucien's or a I don't know, we'll like make some kind of plan to turn ourselves over in order to get access or something. Like that's kind of the general direction that he's thinking. If you want to play out the if you want to play out the evening, and if you want to play out like with Rowan and the interview with the prisoners and stuff, I'm game to do that. But if we want to save that for next time, then I'm game for that too.
I think let's save that for next time, so that way I can make sure that about what happens while you guys are sleeping, and we can pick up kind of right where we left off and kind of go from there, because I want to make sure that I have the right thing going for Lucien. He's like just at the top of the screen.
Is he at the top of the... Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, wow.
Now you're really in a pickle.
Dang it.
Don't tell Garreth. He doesn't know that that's where Drex was going to take him. I didn't mean to spoil that for anybody, but I was just really excited. I've got this little room set up and everything.
No. Why do I make such bad decisions? That's what I want to know.
Not sure. It was interesting.
I just didn't think that it was a good idea to go with creepy Drax into his creepy dungeon.
And it's fine.
But now I'm like persona non grata in Idle Passage. How am I gonna pull this off?
I don't know.
I think it's really funny that Garreth is
I'm hoping the Vulcan helps you come up with a really good idea.
Yeah. I think it's really funny that Garreth as a character does a lot of like lying and fast talking, and he's not, I don't know, that hasn't, I guess that's more of him that I'm discovering playing him, or like maybe that says something about me. I don't know. I mean, he's not charismatic, but
right. Well, and some of it is the situation. Like, he is not in a world that's well suited, and he's not in a situation that's well suited to the, white knight in shining armor who never lies. Like, that person isn't going to make it.
Yeah.
That person's not going to carry on a sketchy shield, probably.
My sketchy shield, I like to think, saved the day. With the closing off 3 hallways, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But what else did you close off? Dun, dun, dun.
I was really worried. I thought about throwing a fireball at Drax, but I didn't want to, like, accidentally hurt Lorelei down the hall.
Oh.
And I thought about doing, like, a fireball and trying to, like, collapse the passage. But the wall of fire sounded more reasonable.
I think the wall of fire worked out great. You guys escaped. You're in the woods. Want there to be like a buffer in case. Did I get stuck?
No, it just like your mic wasn't queuing and now it's back.
Oh, okay. It's just like it's one of those awkward situations where like character actions are going to have really serious consequences, but I don't want it to feel like punitive,
Yeah.
But Garreth is doing what he thought was right at the time. So I just want to make sure that you feel like you have space and agency to do what you want to do, while also understanding that that may not be possible.
If because I went in, we don't get to heal Ruby, then Garreth is going to the negative planes a different route.
Oh.
He'll be so devastated.
Well, we'll figure it out. I know. But you know that we will figure it out somehow.
I don't know. This this is Descent into Avernus remixed, so...
We've abandoned the Avernus part for right now. I'm really enjoying being in Lee's Main.
I think Lee's Main's cool. It's a very... I don't know, it feels unique with like these neutral party factions and this weird warlord, and then you also have this enclave.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
We were putting Ruby in the pet column, so you guys will figure out something to help her.
It's good to know that there are rules and reason.
It just that would be really heartbreaking. That doesn't. Is it fun?
At the end of the day, that's the question.
Right. So, if that's okay with you, I want some time to think this over. I want Garrett to have some time to think it over, get super creative, see what you can come up with.
Cool. Yes. Garreth would have a sense of the space, and so I'm going to be thinking about like a heist option, a lie option, and a something else option.
Okay. I tried to make the town before, but it was a disaster. So I can try again. I think I need to zoom out from where it was more. I was trying to do like the sketches of the individual buildings, and my skills were all wrong, and it was a disaster. So I can get you that information.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wonder if
I'm sorry the second half of that was faster than we meant for it to be.
I wonder if there's something that Lucien really loves. Like if we can like get his pet, his creepy Gloomstalker, and like hold it hostage or something in exchange, or I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Okay,
I'm sure Gloomstalker
sense...
is totally within our CR range.
You watched the Gloomstalker fly, and you watched it vanish and reappear, and vanish and reappear.
Mm-hmm. So like easy,
as it flew really far.
Easy to corner is what you're saying.
Yeah.
We'll just get like a leash.
There you go. Or like a little stake.
Yeah. Stake on a string.
Perfect. Problem solved.
Yes. Do you want to thank our patrons?
Yes. Thank you, patrons, for supporting us. And anyway, I hope when things don't go quite right either. And not that anything went wrong, but I hope that that's kind of helpful to see too. But yeah, thank you guys so much for supporting us and our stream, as well as the adventures. We're really excited to get this next set of Land of Vampires out to you all very, very soon.
Oh my gosh, Land of Vampires is turning out so good. Really
and for those of you who are not patrons, the Land of Vampires kind of in pieces appears on our blog. We've got like a section coming up every Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. We've got, I believe next week will be part 4 of Basking in the Light. It's either 3 or 4. I think it's 4. If you want to check out our Patreon, we would love for you to do that. You can do that at patreon.com/GroveGuardianPress. And then our D&D things are at dndduet.com.
And if you like our stuff, then make sure to give us a follow on Twitch and a subscribe on YouTube and all those good things.
Yes.
And we will see you next Friday with more Tales of Eldura.
With an epic plan.
It's going to be so
good.
good.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Whatever happens.
If you have a good idea for how Garreth can get out of this terrible situation that he's put himself in, then tweet me, please.
I'll give you a point of inspiration if you get 3 extra ideas.
Garreth's life is in your hands.
You already have a point of inspiration too, don't forget.
Can I collect points of inspiration?
I don't see any reason you can't have 2.
I forgot I had inspiration. I would have used one of my inspirations on one of those really terrible rolls. Maybe the 0 stealth check. That would have been...
That would have been the one to overdo.
The 0.
I rolled a 19. that one. Anyway, okay, we'll stop there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you all.